Oh yeah, that's what I was leading to.
Yeah.
Like, he wants you to like, man, move that phone away. Let me see that dick, bro.
Man. Eggs, feet, fucking headlights, pet peeves, annoying motherfuckers. It's these topics and more that Hib wanted to talk about today. Thanks for tuning in.
Hey, what's up, ladies and gents? Hip here with you again this week. Tattoo Guardians podcast. Me and Mr. Clemmer
Hey,
are your hosts, and it has been a busy week.
man.
So, just to inform y'all, I didn't give any indication of what we're talking about, nor do I really even know. I just took a couple notes over here on my iPad. So I figured we'd just kick it, talk shit, maybe explore pet peeves. And if you know me and Matt, then you know that we love to wreck and bullshit, but we always get to the solution, and we like to leave it that way. Yep. So, without any more from me, actually, because I'm going to start off on this. So Matt lives like 40 miles or 40 minutes. One of the two, I guess if you're going slow, it would be the same thing, 40 miles and 40 minutes. But I speed a little bit, allegedly. So, what is it with fucking every car now in 2021 seeming like they're brighting you? Because the whole way here, I'm like, this motherfucker just doesn't give a fuck about me and my visibility. So I hit my brights, and then he hits his brights and illuminates everything around me. And I'm like, oh, my bad. But I've been noticing that more and more, and that's a pet peeve of mine. What do you think about that, Matt? Have you noticed?
Well, what are you saying? Like, did you have your brights on and you didn't know it until he brighted you, or what?
No, I didn't have my brights on.
Oh,
but when cars are approaching, it's like back in the day, I was so good at shit. Like, I could tell if the 5.0 was behind me or coming up on me. I knew what cop cars looked like. Now, and this is a whole other fucking pet peeve, there's so many different types of cars and headlights. Like, I can't tell if it's a cop or not. But what I'm talking about is, like, the lights are so fucking good now that it seems like at any time, I'm thinking the majority of the people have their fucking bright lights on. So I give it a little tap, and then they bright me back to let me know that they didn't have their brights on.
Yeah, right.
But then I get stuck, and I'm like, fuck it, I surrender. I'm just not gonna give a courtesy tap to anybody, and they're the ones that actually have their bright lights on. And then boom, they pass me, and I'm pissed now because I didn't get a chance to bright them. So it's just this big fucking fuckery that when I'm driving, it's just getting under my skin.
Oh, shit. Well, you're right. I didn't know what the fuck he was going to talk about tonight.
Straight out of left field, dude.
But so I'm getting so what I'm hearing from you is you just wanting to talk about pet peeves, and you just brought one of how many up.
Oh yeah, just like a shit starter for this episode, cut loose and like, maybe take a break from the structure and shit we had and just see like organically where it goes.
Yeah. But do you have another list of pet peeves, or is that just the one you're going to bring up?
Well, that was the one that sparked the idea, even how to start this thing. When I jumped out the car, when I got here, I was like, dude, I got an idea. Just tell me when to go. I'm going to lead into the intro.
Yeah, you did.
I figured it would catch fire much more than what it has. It's not like when Carlton was 11 and caught fucking 40 acres on fire. But, we got like a small campfire to at least settle up around and fire off.
Yeah.
And like, so along with this, at our shop at Aisle 9, Matt has invested since the pandemic and the COVID in like these $2,000 fucking space fucking air tube cleaners.
You like the air purifiers?
Yeah. And for like the last month he comes in, I forget they're there, so I don't pay him no mind, but they're always shut off.
Right.
And I'm seeing that starting to be like a pet peeve, or like, and I've experienced this in the past too. So the building that Aisle 9 is located in actually was built by Nate Lincoln, aka Nate Dogg, which is Abraham's first cousin. So like there's historical value in it. It was probably a place of like transformation and growth back in the day. You know, there were freed slaves there. Anyways, it's fucking cold as shit, and you know you're getting fucking tatty zapped for 8 hours. It gets cold and you get shivery, so like we bring heaters up from the basement, and they mysteriously get down to like 62 degrees, and we're in Ohio, so 62 degrees inside when it's fucking negative 10 outside,
right,
creates a cold combination.
Today is pretty warm. It's actually 25 degrees today.
Oh shit!
You know, the other day it was like 5 degrees.
Right.
Know?
Well, that makes sense why Mike's wearing fucking shorts.
That's right. Yes, it's 25 degrees out, and Mike showed up to record this podcast wearing shorts and Vans. Like, hell yeah. What's that?
Were you?
He was.
With his brights on.
Mike was the motherfucker behind you. Well, that's interesting to know because, I mean, we all have pet peeves, and they're different. You and I, so tight, we know a lot of one another. You know a lot of my pet peeves. Mm-hmm. The one you just shared about the whole people fucking brighten you, or the courtesy bright, I did not know was one of yours. Mm-hmm. Nor did I know that bothered you that bad. But for all our listeners that can relate, you fucking weak ass giving your power away motherfuckers. Man. You're gonna let one bright take you out the game?
No, shit, not one, like 30 in a row.
Because you talking about brights, because something, you know, I know a lot of our listeners out there can relate to either road rage or knowing someone that deals with road rage, right?
Right.
And you're either in two camps. You're either the dude that can relate with having road rage because you too have had it or have it or get it, or you're in the camp that I'm in, that I've never fucking understood it. That doesn't mean have I ever gotten pissed off by someone else behind the wheel? Yes. But to the point, I've never understood that, you know, because the dudes I know with road rage get it every time they're behind the wheel. Like every fucking day, it's the whole world, when really you're the common denominator. I understand if you get mad that one time or a few but if you get road rage every day, that's telling us a lot more about you. And it's always, you know, everyone's big tough guy from the comfort of their car. You know what I'm saying? But you have road rage with the wrong motherfucker or don't got nothing to lose. It's going to follow you till you get wherever you're going. You might not be so tough no more. Regardless, though, before it even gets to that point, I understand whether it's road rage or anything in life, the second we allow ourselves, and I'm not saying this from some like pedestal high place. This is what I've learned and still learning. The second we get mad is the second we're giving our power away.
Right, it's lonely up there, ain't
it? But regardless, man, I can think of a lot of stuff that I get pissed off at behind the wheel. The whole Brighton thing wouldn't be like on the top 10 list, so that shocks me.
And well, I think it was just more of like the spur of the moment or just something going on me, and I'm like, this is a good topic because it's like, you know, it's like if you got one of those little babies in the family that are annoying when you're a little kid and like you're trying to fucking play video games or in your case fucking listen to the radio. Old joke, didn't know if TVs were around then. But no, so it's one, cool, no big deal. Another one, no big deal. But it's like it's the technology behind how good lights are now. Like they used to be like nicotine colored lights. Now all of them are super fluorescent and LED. And like there's even some that if like boom, you're coming around a curve or coming up a hill or you're coming down a hill, but a person's coming up a hill, like the way the lens, however you perceive it, it looks bright, but then they level out with you and you see like, they ain't got their brights on.
Right. Yeah, and it depends on the vehicle because, you know, you and I are both driving SUVs.
Right.
So compared to some cars, we're already higher the ground. You know, I'm in my Suburban, and so often people are giving me that courtesy bright thinking I'm got them on, and I have to respond kind of like the dude did to you tonight. Like, nope, this is my regular, here's my bright.
So you respond to like, let them know versus like just chill, because if I respond to somebody and they're giving me a courtesy they think by not responding, I wait till they're like 5 seconds away from me and I fucking light them up, dude. So if they're it's a control thing totally, but it's like my little Well, it's a pet peeve, but it's like my little revenge protocol that I do that I'm like, oh, okay, you ain't even going to let me know you got brights on or not. I'm going to get you like this last 5 seconds, which is so stupid because it's like those are the crucial times that if they were fucking blinded by my bright lights, that they could possibly like swerve into me.
Right. Which is even funnier because you're one of those dudes that like get upset over roadkill or if you hit something. So it's just funny that you're going to light a motherfucker up as he passing you that now all of a sudden may be too blind to see that raccoon and run over it. And
See, I thought you were going to go like to kill them. And I'm like, yeah, fuck them. But now you throw a raccoon in the scenario. I might have to rethink this whole thing now and be more passive when I feel I'm being
about
brighted.
that dude, but don't kill the raccoon. Oh, shit.
Do you want to hear another one?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was a good one.
You think?
Yeah. If y'all can relate, man, put some likes in the comments.
Somebody fucking right hip and be like, I
Please.
feel you.
Don't let me know I'm the only one out here. And, just side note, FYI, I just watched a movie with he's the Gladiator. He don't look like the Gladiator anymore. With Russell Crowe.
Yeah, right.
It's called Unhinged, and it's about a chick giving a dude. She didn't give him a courtesy tap on the horn at a red light, so which is like, bam, bam. She hits and blows the horn, throws her hands up. He don't move, goes around her, but it ends fucking horribly. Like he's really unhinged. Like it's the dude you want to be mindful of. So yeah, all right. Next one I got on the list is, have you ever, and I think I picked up this description from you, Matt, because you put it into words that like I knew it was annoying me, but I could never explain it. But like somebody shows up and they ask you a question and you begin to answer the question and they either answer it for you or just won't shut the fuck up and let you answer it.
Okay. Now you're you found one that is on my list, a pet peeve, which you know that.
Right.
Yeah, and we've, how's a motherfucker going to come to you, ask you for advice, especially come to you like, man, like your level's above tattooing, whatever. They're coming to you for advice and then going to rob you from the microphone. You know what I'm saying? Because I already, you and I both love pouring into people that are actually coachable. But yeah, huge pet peeves when someone asks you a question and then's not even going to give you the mic to answer it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm always like, hey, this interview's over. Like, I don't even fucking want, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right. Yeah, right.
I'll never forget, like, me and, a perfect example, which just happened to you and I all the time. Me and Kyle Cotterman was, at the Massachusetts Tattoo Convention. We just tag team a seminar, and then here come two dudes, like, hungry, act like they hungry. They got us on pedestals, man. Obviously they think, and it's weird, I've noticed. And so they were coming. I thought they were coming to ask or learn something. Now, I get it. If they were nervous, their insecurities popped up, so they just kept talking. But they asked me and Kyle, like, how do you guys do that? And, man, I love this part. How do you do that? And Kyle and I are both standing there ready to give an answer, but they just kept fucking talking. And then out of nervousness, it's always those dudes that want to try and impress us. Now they're going to pull out their portfolio and show us everything they do.
Right.
Which ain't even on our I thought that's why you came to our seminar. I thought that's why you came and asked us a question, but now you're robbing yourself of receiving any wisdom. And the more they kept fucking talking, which started zapping Kyle and I's energy, I'm not going to fight this dude over the mic. So you get to keep your reward, which is fucking right where you're at, And I remember Kyle and I finally just being like, cool, and just like slipping away. And what that dude don't realize is he robbed himself. Because Kyle and I both could have totally poured into that dude. But it was one of those guys that asks a question and can't even shut up to get the answer.
Man.
It's really weird. I used to just think it was like, I used to just chalk it up to like, what a dumb fuck, right? But now it's happened so much, I try and give them room, like, they just don't know no better. They're nervous as shit. you know what I'm saying, it's excited, you know, nervous talking, and they're afraid of like
starstruck.
or afraid of one moment of awkward silence, so they're just going to keep talking. But at the same time, me and Kyle both are, you know, I was trying to get a word in it to try and help a brother, because I can even sense like, okay, he's nervous. Okay, he's got us on a pedestal. Okay, if he got to know me really, he realizes I will let you down, and I'm not actually, I'm fucking human too. You know what I'm saying? I could actually learn something from you if you'd ever actually want to have a real conversation. You know what I'm saying? But I try and give him room, thinking like, instead of just being quick to be like, what a dumb fuck, and I'm annoyed, I try and give them room, but it's still, they're robbing themselves, because I will not, you know, fight someone to give them knowledge or wisdom. It's just weird. They came and asked for it and then won't even receive. So yeah, that's always been a pet peeve, for sure. And it's situational, because sometimes I'll try and save them dudes from themselves. You know, like, bro, I mean, I appreciate everything you're saying, but do you actually want an answer? You know? But most times it'd be like, cool, man. Well, man, you keep doing you. Okay, player.
Right. And, you know, there's been times where that almost seems like that suffices. Like, that was just cool enough for them, just for them to be able to sit there and ask. Yeah. But the other side of that coin is like the dudes that basically will show you the picture, you know, because I know exactly what you're talking about. There's multiple times where that happens, which is cool. And there's probably been a couple times where I've actually been that dude, but I had to get tightened up and actually know like a proper way to approach somebody, especially like if you're asking for like clarity or guidance or something. But the dudes that, one, you spoke of awkward silence. Yeah. Now, depending on the situation, I don't like awkward silence either. I know like you get a kick out of it, but like I'm the type of dude that if it's awkward, or if it's awkward towards a person, I'll start feeling embarrassed or awkward for that person that it's towards. Yeah. But like if it's me, like dude will say something and you know like it's just horrible, or like they show you a picture of their kid and their kid's ugly as fuck, or you know, anything of the nature,
or the portrait they just did of their kid and it's ugly as fuck,
man. And they're just like, man, this shit's badass, ain't it? What you think? Like, I ran this shit at 9 volts 27 mag. I use that dynamic black. I water it down like 3 drops.
Well, and okay, so something to that too, a cousin to that dude is the dude who's pretending to want wisdom from you, but he really just wants stroked.
Oh yeah, that's what I was leading to. Yeah. Like, you know, he wants you to like, man, move that phone away. Let me see that dick, bro.
Man,
which is awkward, which leads right into like the awkward conversation or the silence, because it's like,
I can't talk with your dick in my mouth.
Well, no, I try to be of integrity and like not like bullshit somebody.
Well, sure.
But when a complete stranger walks up to you and wants you to like blow his fucking tattoo work, and it's not good tattoo work, I'm the type of dude that if my shit sucks and I think it's bad, you're doing me a disservice by not telling me it's bad. But also, I got a touch of a people pleaser. So like a stranger will come and be like, oh, check out this shit. And it's fucking wonked to death. And it's like awkward silence where I could just like smile and nod. And I know that's not the response they're looking for, but like I don't want this dude to fucking go away and kill himself because I didn't fucking applaud his
Well, and again, it's situational in the question. Is he asking for help? Like, yo, dude, this is my work. This is where I'm at. And asking literally, how can I be better? Now the door's been open. If he's just like, yo, this is what I've been working on, what you think, then it's different. And that's when it's like, oh shit, how can we be polite? You know, and if it's a piece, sometimes they'd be like, oh, cool. I was like, would you have fun with that one? You know, was that fun? Cool. You know?
And the same as with the client, right? Like people will find out I'm a tattoo artist, and you know, I think it's safe to say that the majority of people, if they're not like true collectors or have been to like a certain caliber of a shop, they just think tattoos are tattoos. Like they don't, there's no difference between realism, neo, trad, fucking, you know, it's all the same. It's just a tattoo. And like a client will walk up and be like, oh, you're a tattoo artist? Well, you charge? Pff, I got this from my fucking sister's cousin, boyfriend. Man. He only charged me like $50. What you think? And it's like,
the first words out of my mouth every time is, is asking if they like it. They're like, what do you think? I'm like, man, you happy with it? And if they're like, yeah, I'm like, sweet, man, good for you. You know
Which
what I'm saying?
takes all the fucking pressure off you.
That's right.
Because, in things like Pass Me, I was, like we're doing right now, a rec session. It's cool and all, and like if you know our hearts, like, I can go to fucking any lengths with somebody. I got my coworker Zach's like my little brother, and like we pick and poke the bear all the time with each other, but we know each other's hearts, and it's just innocent and like a good fun little rec session we got going. But a stranger, the old me would have been like, that shit's trash. Go burn your arm off. But the new me, it's like I don't want to cause harm because I've caused too much harm in my life. But that is such a great intro to like take the response off of you and put it right back on them, because ultimately I got shitty tattoos on me that I fucking love. And it's not, it's beauty's in the eye of the beholder, man. It's art. Art's art.
That's right. And that's why there's someone out there for everybody. That's why we see scratchers with somebody in their chair tonight. That's why we see like what we consider like, whatever, bullshit shops, bullshit artists that have a clientele. There's someone out there for everybody. And to me, that's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? That's why even when we consult, it's not about like trying to win over everybody. It's discover. That's why Hip, with all of his consults now, he has a discovery call. Really, and what you're discovering is if you guys are a right fit together. And if and when you're not, that's okay, because there's somebody for everybody. We know the people that are price shopping. When people's first question to us is, "Yo, how much you charge?" That's usually an indication they're already not going to be a right fit, because that's their first question.
Right.
Instead of artist shopping, they're price shopping. And the reason why we know usually we're not the right fit is because we ain't the cheapest out there. If they're just price shopping, you can pay a fraction of what we're going to charge and get someone to stick ink in you.
Totally.
You know what I'm saying? But the dude that can't tell the difference between good and great, and the only significant difference is the price tag, and he's going with the cheaper one, but he gets coverage and he's happy with it, cool. And I'm happy for him too. That's why when motherfuckers would come, especially in a consult, and hear our price, be like, man, I did this on a 250 tap out. When we're like, fuck, it looks like it.
Right.
And that's when I'll be like, sweet, man, you happy with it? You like, even if they're like, man, what do you think? I'm right back. Well, what do you think? You happy with it, man? Oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? And part of me is like, well, then why are we talking? Why didn't you go back to that dude if you're happy with, you know what I'm saying? But dude, I'd be honored to be a part of the project. This is who I am. This is how I operate, and they get to decide if they want to keep playing. But this ain't good, bad, right, or wrong. It's trying to discover, are we a right fit or not? But it's a whole nother conversation, because we trickle over this topic on money. Everyone falls all over the place. And that isn't a bad thing. What I think is the danger zone is when people start judging others for where they fall.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If dude down the street's doing 250 tap out sessions, we may think it's funny or a joke, but I ain't judging that man or the client. If they're a right fit, it's a win-win for the cool. And if everybody's happy, but for someone to come sit in my chair or your chair and we charge more than that, and now they go and judge us, is where I find it to be weird. Because like you said, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. It's what's valuable to you. And even though we charge more, we didn't put a gun to anybody's head. Like our clients that are sitting in our chair and paying our prices are doing it willingly, not because we like fucking talked them into it or nothing like that. And furthermore, we're the first to let dudes know, like, hey, we never claimed to be the cheapest, and actually, all the dudes down the street are a lot cheaper than that. We'll be the first to admit it and own it. And I think there's power in, one, knowing who you are, but two, I also think there's power in being more expensive than the other shops locally. The guys that try and fall into the trap of the bidding war or the price war, no artist wins in a price war. No. Everyone loses. The only person that might win is the client. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, do they really win?
Right.
Because if you get in a price war with somebody, by the time it's said and done, it's so cheap that like fuck, like I just wasted all that energy to fucking not make nowhere near what I was planning on making or what I'm worth making. And now I'm stuck doing this tattoo that 9 out of 10 times those type of clients have stupid fucking ideas anyway. So
And that's a
now
good
you're doing a
point.
tattoo you don't even want to do for money you fucking couldn't, you know.
And you started a new relationship out from where you don't want to be.
Right. The hookup.
You know what I'm saying?
The
now,
hookup.
do you even want that dude to come back? Because he's going to hold you to the low standard you set to
Right.
try and win him. It's like, fuck all that.
And you know, like, again, there's no judgment on this
Yep.
other than a standard for myself. But
That's right.
like, if I set myself up with people that want to hold me to a low standard, and until I realize that, I'm just kept at that low playing field, and I'm never challenged by anyone to be higher or better or push more.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you are like the 5 people you associate with.
And that's not just finances or putting value on you. That's even with your art.
Everything.
That's right. Your
Man.
art, how you operate, what kind of man you're striving to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck, man. And yeah, we happen to be dudes that's like, man, I want my day in court. Help me see what I cannot see. You know what I'm saying? If we in the Matrix, give me the blue pill. I want to wake up. I want to know the truth. Give me accountability.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And let's go all in. But, you know, not everyone's like that. And that's fucking cool, too. You know?
Right.
There's someone, you know, out there for everybody. But yeah, no one. That's the beautiful thing about this. Whether you, as tattooers, know it or not, you actually have a say-so. You can choose where you want to be and how you want to operate and work towards that, you know. It's weird, man, to think about, like, Hip, how weird would it be? Do you think I have any right to come over to your house tonight, walk into your house, and for me to define what your daughter's value is?
Right. No, not
Is
at
it
all.
up to me to... who am I to walk in your house and tell you what you are worth, what your wife is worth, what your family's worth? Who am I? And even if I had an opinion of what I think you're worth, the fuck does that even mean? What does that matter?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And if we can't start the journey to want to uncover or discover our own potential, therefore, i.e. our own worth, and grow in that, then we're always going to be susceptible to other people coming in our house and telling me what supposedly I'm worth and what gauge are they coming from, what scales are they using, you know?
Dude, a good tell for me that was even an issue with me and still is, because like all these things we're talking about, I still deal with.
Yeah.
They're just different levels because I choose to like walk the path and grow in them.
Man.
But like, I'm kind of a naive, I guess you could say, and like I will let other people's opinions of someone define who they are before I actually take the steps to get to know the person. I remember like this dude that's hangs around the same people I do in the same groups I do, and never really got to like meet him or shake his hand or give him the time of day because I heard so many bullshit things about him. And then he hired me for this job to help like paint a wall at a local community spot for like people to come in and like not have to deal with no bullshit, drug-free zone, bring your kids, like sit down, watch some TV, like kick it spot for the community. And the dude was a fucking sweetheart, and I did it for free because it was something for the community, but he ended up throwing me some cash for it on live TV on local news, which meant the world to me. And everything that was said about him that I judged him for being was true, but also I forgot to look at the other side of the fucking coin, because like I can be an asshole and a sweetheart and have been those things just like he can. And it just showed me that like that's an important thing to look at, and is how naive am I being, because that trickles over into like, you know, if I'm willing to let your opinion of fucking Joe Schmo Shout out to Joe. And who he is and what he's about before I even get a chance to know him. It's just like a tall tale sign for me that I was allowing people to influence what or how much my value and worth is, especially in like my craft and being a tattoo artist, until you start putting yourself around certain circles of people like yourself, Mr. Clemmer, that would point out like, why are you fucking letting these other shops you worked at dictate who you are now at this new shop as a new person, new chapter in your life. And they were just like things for me to like chew on and fucking reflect on. And I'd be like, and it was a painful process, totally still is, because I'm going through it. And I don't think there's ever an arrival point, but it was just little signs like that. So, if you've ever been in a situation where you've let someone else's opinion reflect on your thoughts of that person or that thing or that place,
especially your identity as a tattoo artist,
man, totally,
your identity, like
that's a good red flag that maybe there's something deeper at work there that you might want to look at and check out to help ultimately push you in the more authentic version of who you are. Because man, I'm telling you, like walking with fucking power and knowing who you are. You always use this analogy, Matt, like when talking about like who you are and being true to yourself and your value. You would ask me 5 years ago, what's my name? My name's Hip. You ask me today, what's my name? My name's Hip.
Yep.
So this is who I operate. This is my house. When you come into it, this is how it is. And like all this shit falls under lines of pet peeves. Speaking of pet peeves, I'm not going to say hate. I hate saying the word hate. Well, so that's like a double entendre or some shit right there. I should write bars. I should be a ghostwriter for Eminem or something. Oh, man. But
shout out to the real OT. Hip coming up.
Acting. Give me a beat. Acting on character defects and shortcomings and not being aware of it, and then finally being told about it and being able to like look with hindsight and see all the times that played out that you were just fucking blind, right? Denial. Don't even know I'm lying. Just self-deceit. And then it gets pointed out and you're like, holy shit, I look like a fucking asshole this whole time. That's a pet peeve.
What part?
The fucking knowing that you've just been acting in some dorkish, douchey shit, and then finally it gets brought to light and you see it and you're like,
thank God
shit.
for those mirrors in our life.
Dude.
You know what I'm saying? Versus kind of like, if your shit sucks, you don't want someone be doing you injustice to act like you the shit. And the same deal if something in your character, all of us. But that's why, again, you said it's all who we associate with, because guys, this isn't like me. I've just brought certain character defects to Hip's attention as much as...
He just bullied me as soon as we started hanging out. He's like, you ain't shit. You need to do this. Here, drink this fucking Kool-Aid real quick.
Yeah, he's gonna fix everything, man. Because we're mirrors for one another. This is like iron sharpening up iron. But yeah, every once in a while, I can be a mirror for him as he's been a mirror for me. But the good news is you've always been willing to look into it.
You gotta be.
Fuck. Well, and that's what you said. Like, hey, you're still growing. It's just level to level to level. And you said it was painful. It's uncomfortable, right? Mm-hmm. But growth, it's always outside our comfort zone. That's why I'm fucking proud of you. You can be here to talk from experience today because of where you started, where you are today, and every level that you hit, from character to your personal self-worth, as your technical ability grew, as your ability to communicate grew, as your ability to know your own worth, know who the fuck you are, discover, get to decide, give yourself permission to create who you want to be and take that on. Now who you operate. But the good news is once you got that settled, it's already set. It's predetermined, just like your name. So now anyone that comes in your house today, you didn't do anything different or move any furniture in your house just because someone new came in today. It was already set. That's why it don't have to be personal. That's why it's weird. Even when we consult and we talk about pricing, we're emotionless. We have emotion when it comes to the possibility of working with you, taking on your piece, doing your design, celebrating. I'm excited about doing your tattoo, but what we charge, our self-worth, who we are, how we operate, was already predetermined. I know what my rates are for 6 months from now on a random Tuesday that I don't even know who I'm tattooing
But
yet.
what if I'm a hot chick?
Man, well, yeah. And that's the thing. That's great because whether you're a hot chick, whether it's a sob story because they just lost their dad, which we always get all them, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's why it's so important for us to have settled who we are, and it's not swayed by anyone or anything, and it ain't personal.
Never
it
personal.
Makes it easy because you don't have to even figure out how to quote this or that or what I quoted them, what I quoted them. It's the same every day. You know, we're blessed that we just have a flat day rate. So whoever wants this day.
You just brought up a fucking super good point. That's another pet peeve of mine, which I call it the extortion to an artist, but my buddy Bopap fucking says that it's not extortion. But I don't know, I feel it is, right? So it's like, boom, client shows up, gives you a sob story, or shows you fucking cleavage, whatever the case, and you fall back into like fucking ugh, and you have no confidence and you agree to it. It's almost like a form of fucking verbal judo or mental extortion
Because the client manipulated you into devaluing you, or
well,
you're
you've
saying
given
you did
the
it to
power. Yeah, you've given the. It's,
who you
'cause
blame?
It's never,
Who you blaming, them or yourself?
It's always myself, with me at least.
Right.
I can't. I'm never a victim. I'm always a volunteer in every scenario.
Even though we can relate to
Totally.
obviously, you know.
Right. But so like that's a form of like you allowing them to like extort you for like who you are. And a great example is, so like I do big all day sessions. Never really do any small bangers, not because I'm better than or choose. I just the what do they call it? Supply and demand. I got a lot of people knocking at my door wanting like big shit.
Now hold on real quick. Are you leading into what happened today?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Before you do that, you know, again, to make clear is, one, Hip and I are even bringing this up because you and I know all the years where we did fold. We dropped our price out of fear or out of feeling, or out of the sob story or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And how that shit always gets sticky. And we almost, I'm telling you, the freedom, which you and I both now know, as we know who we are, we know how we operate, and we know we're called to get to work with certain people, even being a blessing. But when it's already settled what our worth is, and our clients know that too, and now we're aligned, they want to sign up for us, only then, because one, Hip and I have like bent over and taken it for so long that's how we learned to have self-respect and put worth on ourselves. And
right.
Two, now that that's settled, we know who the fuck we are, and only then, once it's clear and respected, this is who I am, this is what my day rate is, I'd be honored to work with you. And if they decide they can play and want to play, and now they're on your books, they're on my books, and we're agreed on the value exchange, now it's the perfect setup if and when there are times we actually want to be a blessing or bless somebody.
You done took my shit.
Well, okay, go ahead.
No, you got it. You're doing it because I learned it from you.
Yeah.
It's the once you they agree. Yeah, you led right into it. So so boom, there's a dude that calls the shop 2 weeks ago. He wants a little jammer of like a moon blocking the sun starting to block out the moon. So in a sense, to him, it's a metaphor for like light blocks out the darkness, and no one had availability to do it. And then, come to find out, he had told the person, I think it was my assistant that answered the phone, that like, he's dying from a terminal disease. And of course you fucking hear that, like, this dude's fucking dying, like, someone help him.
Yeah.
So I just gave him like a flat hourly rate. No problem on his end. Then linking up days, I was going to come in on my off day to do it for him, with no intentions of giving shit away.
Right.
He was paying my hourly rate. Like, yeah, you got a sob story. I got a sob story too. We all got sob stories.
And we empathize. By giving them a discount isn't the only way to empathize and meet them where they're at and with their pain.
Right.
Money, just what the tattoo is one thing. That's what so many tattooers don't know. You can actually you can be more of a blessing, even be a vessel for healing or whatever. The listener, you can meet them and bless them on so many levels, and ain't got shit to do with when you ring them up.
Exactly.
But go ahead.
Money's just energy.
Come on.
But yeah. So finally, because he's traveling back and forth from Cleveland, I believe, and if anybody's familiar with Ohio, we're damn near at the southern border of Ohio, right by the Nasty Natty. Shout out Cincinnati. And Cleveland's all the way up by Lake Erie, so it's a good 4.5, 5 hour drive easily. But he couldn't link up days that I could, so I took him on a day that I wasn't off, but I didn't have anything scheduled. And it was actually today. For whatever reason, it felt like it was yesterday. But it's been a long fucking day. But boom, he comes in, and the disease he's got was messed up through a surgery. And he feels pain way worse. So like, you can't take hot showers. If it's too cold, if it's too hot outside, it hurts. And it's been like this agonizing pain for him.
Damn.
I didn't know this. So I fucking put my big ass mitts on his hand, on his arm, and fucking get ready to go to town. It's his first tattoo. He's 50s, maybe pushing 60. Sweetheart. And
actually, he did say he's about to turn 60.
Yeah. And I always like enter in with just the tip on, those first new tattooers, just to give them a little taste. And I did so with him. And the reaction I got was like, fuck, you thought I would have drove a fucking 18-liner in him.
Really?
Yeah. But he just had to get used to it. And then he began telling me about like, his diseases and his condition and stuff. And, as it went, we were joking and shit. And I'm always a clown, so like I can discern that like he's got a sense of humor, so I start reckoning on him for being old, and fucking
we were making fun of him because he said he's Polak.
Yep. Grew up here in Dayton. Dude's super sweetheart. Anyway, we get finished and everything, wrap him up, I explain how it goes, take him out to the front room. And for those of you that don't know, like, this is so fucking golden. I get pictures with all my clients after every tattoo session if they're new clients. And there's a secret. If you ain't got your fucking pens out, write this shit down. I get a physical copy of the picture between me and him, they, and mail it like in the mail. Like, that's those weird metal containers that are out front of houses with addresses on them. Like, there's paper that still comes in those. You can put a stamp on an envelope and send that to a person.
Old school. You're not just going to send them a digital pic and a text or an email. Some motherfuckers don't even do that. But you are taking the time to celebrate. You take a picture of the client. When they're gone, you're going to print it out and write them a thank you letter and send it to them. Is that what you're telling us?
And it's not an evergreen thank you either. It's fucking authentic to each person. Because I was brought up in aisle 9 to ask, where are you at? Where are you going? Where'd you come from? Which, if you're a people person, just those three, even if you ain't a people person, if you implement those 3 questions into your fucking session, you're going to find out some awesome shit. So each of those thank you letters is authentic to that individual. And so we took the picture, and he got ready to pay me. And I was like, for whatever reason, I don't know, dude was just fucking awesome. And I was like, this one's on me. And like, 60-year-old, tough as nails, fucking Polish dude from Old North Dayton, probably never took no shit from nobody, broke down in tears in the middle of the shop. And like, clients were coming down from upstairs, artists were finishing them, he had to turn away and like wipe his tears. Didn't want to look like he was being soft, but it was the most beautiful thing, and he didn't even have words for it, and he couldn't believe it. And he told his wife it was way cheaper than what it was, so I still had to write him a receipt saying that like he put X amount of deposit down, and then the rest was free. Because he's having surgery and didn't have
dude, that was powerful, man, because I saw him crying. He came up and he expressed to me and said, man, I don't even have words. You don't even know what this means to me. Not only this tattoo, but your blessing. And the beauty and the power in that was because
he didn't ask for it.
He didn't ask for it. There's no expectation. He had signed up for who you are and how you operate and was fine with that. He picked you. Not only did he pick you, he drove fucking 5 hours to pay you your full price. Now, and you guys are agreed, you're aligned. you discovered you're a right fit. Indeed, you've already gone the extra mile to take him on, because you and I both know usually you got clients that sit there all day long and pay you thousands, and you were giving that day away to take on a little jammer. But this is, which is beautiful, because you understand the bigger picture, and that the person getting the tattoo fucking matters more than the tattoo. Regardless, you gave your time and already took on someone you wouldn't normally take on. But it was under the understanding he drove 5 hours to pay you full price, which is more than anyone else around. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then at the end, ring it up. Now you're in the position to bless him. And when you did, that's where the power lied. It ain't a blessing if someone hints they want a discount. It ain't a blessing if someone's like, man, that's too much. Can we, and if you drop your price, it ain't a blessing if it's asked for, you know?
Man, there is, the greater the transaction, the greater the transformation.
Come on, man. That's right, brother.
And that's not even just on a monetary level.
That's
that means
right.
like, if you're going to go to the gym and you fucking put your ass out in that motherfucker and dedicate yourself, the greater the transformation.
That's right. And that's powerful, because like we always say, the transformation starts in the transaction.
Oh yeah, every
You
time.
know what I'm saying? It's powerful. And so, guys, don't get it twisted. We know who we are and how we operate every day, all day. But at the same time, since we're operating from that place of power, we're in the position to bless more folks more often. I don't want you listeners out there thinking like, man, y'all don't like give anybody hookups. No, never. We charge full price. And then at the end, when we're led, we fucking give mad hookups. But it's no longer a hookup. Now it's a blessing.
And if you're a motherfucker like me, and I'm coming to find the best fucking artist for the job for me, or who I feel's the best, I want 100% of their fucking quality. I don't want a hookup quality.
No
you know?
kidding.
I want to pay 100% of the price, because I want 100% of the tattoo.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I want
That's right.
100% of a fucking new car, because I paid for 100% of one. I don't want like a car that's called new that isn't new.
And doesn't it feel so much better to work with people that see you fully, appreciate you fully, and say you're worth it, this is worth it? You know what I'm saying? Those are the dream clients that like are choosing you on purpose for this purpose, all in. I mean, dude, our dream clients not only love us, appreciate us, and pay in full, but they don't just say they love us, they show us and back it up with their wallet. I mean, we charge full price, and motherfuckers are like, we get bitched out like, you should charge more. Here's a $700 tip. You know what I'm saying? It happens all the time.
Almost to the point of unbelievable.
Because you can't outgive God. You can't outgive the universe, but it's fun to try. You know what I'm saying? It really, really is. And that's why as you grow in who you are and your self-worth, your value, well, then you become more valuable. And naturally, like a big magnet, you start to attract more value in your life and people that are walking in a higher level of value. You know, the people that are like, those of you who want to raise your prices, you've been wanting to for a while, and you're just afraid, and you're afraid you're going to lose your clientele. Well, guess what? Maybe you're supposed to lose some of them, and the universe can't send you the new level of clients that you want to be at until you decide you want to be there. And yes, the old ones, some of them will step up with you. Others will fall off, freeing up room for your new clientele that's meant to come to you when you're ready to actually receive it and step into that new identity of being. You know, you have to be it first, then the new clients will show up. Versus, I mean, what do you think? Just clients are going to show up out of the blue and tell you, hey, I want to work with you, but only when you decide to double your prices. You know what I'm saying? That ain't fucking happening. You know what I'm saying? Oh, shit, man. But every time we would raise our prices, I know that fear would show up.
Oh, God, it was tough, man.
But at every level, there are motherfuckers that don't even got no respect on it and don't even want to fuck with you if it's too cheap. Because to them, it's like, oh, well, then I look for quality. You know what I'm saying?
I look at everything from my past history of drug use, right? If I'm going to buy an ounce of Coke and they're telling me it's only fucking $80, now it's been a long time since I bought an ounce of Coke, so $80 might be the standard rate going today. But back when I was buying it,
You're already wondering, is this stepped on? Is this some bullshit? Why is it,
I want the fish scale.
Man, come on. Yeah.
Okay, so now on to two serious topics. One is a pet peeve of mine and another is a pet peeve of yours. Utter seriousness. Mine, the smell of eggs and just them in fucking general. And yours, feet.
Yeah, but mine's not just the smell. Mine's fucking feet, period. You like, let's define. Like, Matt doesn't like smelling feet. I don't like smelling eggs. Matt says my feet. Like, no, I just don't like feet, period. But yeah, you're right, man. Something was wrong with me because even when I was a kid, I couldn't go to swimming pools because there was too many orange foot bottoms grossing me the fuck out. You know.
But I don't. Okay, so there's some feet that are fucked up. And there's some feet that are super sexy. And feet just look like short fingers. And hands don't bother you.
No, I actually love hands.
Yeah, hands are dope. And feet are just feet hands.
No, man.
Lower feet hands.
No.
Even if, say, like...
It's weird. I've tried to overcome it, and I have, because I can, like, go to the beach and the pool now. And even when I go to the beach... I'll throw on a pair of flip-flops, but yeah, that's the only time you'll ever see my feet. I don't even have ugly feet, but I don't even like, you know.
Well, I guess it's your movie, Steven Spielberg. You're like, I got the sexiest fucking feet out there.
They don't exist, man. I don't know if you remember that movie from the early 90s, so I'm giving my age here, but it's an old Eddie Murphy movie called Boomerang. Yeah,
yes.
It was before you were born. But I loved it, and I could relate to that because Eddie Murphy, he was like a player. Basically, he can get any chick, but
I know exactly what you're talking about. He would lay in bed with them, and he'd pull the blanket up while they were sleeping and look at their feet.
And even if he was like maybe in love with this girl, I'm down. But if he
feet were
if he wasn't into her feet, it was instantly shut off, and it became worrisome. He didn't know if he would ever be able to find a girl or fall in love because all their feet, you know. And some of them were, you know. And of course, obviously, he met his match. He found a girl he was in love with, and he was scared. He liked her so much he didn't even want to look at her feet because he was afraid he was going to ruin it. And he looked at her and
can't believe I forgot that movie.
Well, dude, I could relate. I had the same dilemma. Like, I didn't think I'd ever be able to find a girl. The same, you know. Thank God she exists. Thank God, you know, I only needed one, and I found her. And really, there's only 3 feet in the world that actually not only don't bother me, but that I actually like. And it's my wife and both my daughters.
Well, to be fair, I think we should pull the audience in on this because Matt hasn't seen every pair of feet in the world.
Fuck that.
So if you'd be kind to oblige to send pictures of your feet to Matt on Instagram just to like help. You remember...
Here's the deal. If that happens and you want me to watch feet, you got to watch them with me and eat an egg salad sandwich. It's the only way we can do that.
That's a whole different thing because I'm just asking you to look at shit. You're asking me to actually taste shit. So if I got to eat an egg salad sandwich, you got to like suck a toe.
Fuck. Okay, never mind. Next.
Nah, but so, okay, here's my thing with eggs, right? I fucking hate eggs. And as far as I'm concerned, chickens... were first always. But so I was like three or 4. My mother was home and I was watching cartoons because that used to be a thing when we were little. Cartoons Sunday morning and after school, even though I wasn't in school. So it was probably stories or The Price is Right. Anybody can relate to that. But yeah, she cooked me some scrambled eggs, I think. Whatever it is when they're all like solid, but they're like cut up. So whatever kind of egg that is, scrambled.
Yeah.
Okay. So she served me that, ate it. As soon as it went down my esophagus, it went right back out, and it traumatized the shit out of me to the point that if I go to any family outings or friend outings or strangers' houses and they're cooking eggs or had deviled eggs out, I just can't stand to be in the room around them or smell them or see them being made or hearing that.
How old were you?
sound people make when they eat fucking eggs. 3, 4. Have I tasted them since then? No, and I will never do it. I will eat fucking cake. I don't like seeing the eggs being broken, even though I have broken eggs into like pancakes and shit to make them. It's partially, I think, a taste, texture, smell thing. Because look, right? So farts stink, and my wife likes fucking eggs, loves them. Any kind of egg, she'll eat it, but she doesn't like the smell of my farts. And my fart smells like an egg, I think. But maybe I'm immune to it, and that's just, I don't know, my butthole trying to tell me something.
Jeez. You ain't had an egg since you were 4 years old.
Yeah.
So some people might think they're a little different than farts. I'm just saying.
Well, yeah, there's a whole Facebook
world.
group about it. But for the very few of us, and there's a few, because I know I've met 2 or 3 people in my life that don't fuck with eggs like that.
Yeah, a lot of people. You don't fuck with eggs or mayo, right? You hate both.
Or sour cream.
Gotcha.
And mayonnaise is like what, egg sweat?
Man, dude, I don't know. But yeah.
Can we get you to Google that for us, Mike? Is mayonnaise egg sweat? But yeah, that's actually a profound thing in my life. So if we're ever out and working together and an apprentice or someone's running to the shop and they're like, what do you want from this place? I'm like, surprise me, as long as it's not eggs, mayonnaise, or sour cream. And if there's some weird cream sauce or all Frenchy and it says crema in some fancy restaurant we're in, then I make sure to like Google the ingredients unless the waiter or the maitre d' tells me that like, no, there's no liquid chickens or sour cream or mayonnaise in the sauce, and then I partake in it.
I wonder how many dudes that are listening right now like working on a design and they just all of a sudden just like start fucking sketching eggs.
Right. Or they're like, did he just say his fart smells like eggs?
It don't matter. They already turned us off. They're not even listening now.
Right.
Oh shit.
So, okay, I got another one of mine. Long hugs.
Ooh. Which I get it. I mean, too long, you know. But again, since I embrace awkward moments, they don't bother me. And sometimes, like me and my dude Eric Cameron in the middle of the waiting room would give awkwardly long hugs. And, you know, we would both be looking at everyone that's watching us and we would just be whispering each other like, hold it, hold it. We would hold it so long until everyone else felt so fucking uncomfortable that we were embraced that long. You know?
Talking about Spicoli.
Yeah, we wouldn't stop hugging until everyone was like, God, they're still like fucking, we beat the Big Red commercials. Like, but I get it. You know, I embrace awkwardness. But yeah, too long of a hug without Spicoli could be weird for the, you know.
So I got like a Spicoli and Eric in my life, and he's a sweetheart. Didn't know this until I didn't know him too well, but I got introduced to him. And in the circle, you know, the tribe I fucking associate in, we hug. We don't handshake, which already that level of shit is fucking weird. I know I've tried to give fucking Yogi some hugs a couple times, and that's just, he's just nah.
Did he? He didn't let you hug him?
He'll slap hands. And like people like your dad, right?
Yeah.
Like Matt's like, my dad don't hug, ain't got shit to do with him. And I was like, we'll see about that.
Man.
So I'll fucking sniper hug this dude. But see, my hugs are short and sweet.
Yeah, right.
Sometimes, especially if it's a stranger, like the gentleman I was talking about that's like your Eric, he came and hugged me, and he's a big dude my size, and he held on a really long, awkward time. And when you're in an embrace like that, one, you want to like fucking show them like, yeah, I love you too. But then it gets to that point to where it's like you let go and they still don't receive the message that you're trying to fucking release in the hug.
Their eyes are closed.
So you got to embrace again, which feeds them to know like, shit, this ain't even a long hug. Let's keep it going.
That's right.
And it just gets weird.
I feel it too, brother. You feel that? I feel it. Oh, God bless you, man. Yeah. That's good, though. I appreciate that because it's either wherever they're at or where I think they're at. You know, it comes down to like, maybe he needs this right now. You know what I'm saying?
Which totally could be fucking true.
But that's another one about you that surprises me, that hugs, you know, that's on your list because you are such a hugger.
Right.
I mean, even like fucking, you know, when Joe Brenner came and joined the team, shout out to Joe Brenner, who's been tattooing 20 years. He came to join our team. He was shocked that you greeted him with a hug. You're twice his size. And to this day, he was like, man, I knew shit was different here when I showed up and fucking hips hugging me. Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Which is beautiful.
Right.
And I like it that you're a hugger because it's so unassuming, or I mean, like, it's unexpected.
Right.
Most
you see a
people,
dude like me, you want to lock the door and hold your purse.
man, dude, covering tattoos, face tattoos, ex-druggie, fucking, you know, 6'5", 300 pounds.
Pure muscle. Pure muscle.
Shit.
But yeah,
good.
awkward long hugs. And man,
And
this
is
one,
that just with dudes, or do you with girls too?
well, I'm married, so yeah, it can be weird. Especially like if it's like, I don't know, let's say fucking so and so are arguing and it's totally profound because it's on Facebook. They let us know that they're arguing, which that's not a pet peeve at all.
Right.
And they show up, and in my presence, she hugs me and holds it long. And oh god, it gets real awkward if my wife's there, because then it's like, what the fuck's going on here? But yeah, it's safe to say that generally all across the board is safe to say that it gets awkward the longer the hug goes, because again, I'm just short and sweet. Throw a hug, you know, dap a little bit afterwards. However, I just roll that way. And it's just simply because, like, this is another human being, and there's no reason to get weird. But I might never have a chance to hug this person again, and they might never have a chance to hug me. So fucking let's hug it out. And yeah, dude, on that same note, like, long eye contact or any eye contact, and that could just be, that's totally inner work with me. All this has been inner work with me.
Yeah.
But yeah, like making eye contact, depending on the person, is hard to do. And especially like right now as I'm talking, like if I'm making eye contact, I get a feeling of like I'm being judged or, you know, some internal shit like that. So if I look up or down or away, it's like I keep my train of focus and thought going.
Right.
So, you know, speaking in front of large crowds or talking to someone that I'm intimidated by or look up to, long eye contact is gets awkward and is kind of a pet peeve. Although I appreciate it because if I'm a listener, I'll keep eye contact. And some dudes, like, it's a staring contest, and I'm like, are they fucking? Did I do something? Do I look weird? Is there a booger? And I appreciate that value because you can tell a lot by people's eyes. So for me, I think it's more of a pet peeve of me not being able to commit to having long eye contact.
Okay. And so much of that's always situational. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it comes down to even the 30 seconds leading up to that moment, you know?
Right.
It's situational for sure.
Dude, I just got pulled over the other night because for whatever reason, there was a cop behind me. I just came from the bank and then fucking was stopped at a red light, and the turn light turned green, and I guess I just took that as fucking go and went right through it. The motherfucker pulled me over, looking at me, light in my eyes. I make eye contact the whole time, like, fucking search me. I ain't got shit in the car. Because I actually look forward to getting pulled over because so long that it was like I was rolling dirty. Or I would throw there'd been times where I've been known to like throw the car in neutral and let it just ghost ride while I fucking jumped out and rolled and ran into the trees. But yeah, straight eye contact the whole time, fucking hands on the steering wheel, super polite. And that could have saved me because, like, the dude didn't even write me a ticket. He just gave me a warning. So, like, maybe it was my eye contact.
Yeah, right. Nice, man. Nice, man.
Any, man, you got, I'm sure there's a plethora of ones we can go in on. But, you know, for the sake of, our audience's sanity and fucking how live this fucking podcast is. My list is done. And
Well, okay, let's try and do some takeaways from today's conversation because it was all over the place, But let's sum it up with some takeaways.
it's all internal shit. It's all these pet peeves from the fucking smell of eggs to the bright lights to long hugs to lack of my eye contact to the motherfucker that wants to interview you.
Ask you questions, but not fucking listen for one answer.
All that is directly me giving power and renting space out in my fucking head to all these things, when the simple solution to all that is just surrender to the fact that you're powerless over people, places, and things. And don't have expectations on shit. Like,
Man.
It's ebb
And
flow,
dude, I
man.
appreciate that fucking accountability because people are so quick to point figures. They, them, that type of people.
Easy.
Huh?
It's easier.
Well, it's fucking leads to a miserable life. It may be easier in the short term than to take accountability, but man, I used to say it like that. And that's why I love you nailed it on the head. This is an inside job. It's internal, right? Because I used to say that you could move all, how people be like, man, I got to get out of this town. And sometimes that's true. But I also know everything's an internal job. You could move all the way across country just to get away, only to find out once you arrive that you are still there.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? And you could get rid of the motherfucker that didn't give you the courtesy light, but he'll be replaced with another dude that does the same shit.
Same shit, brighter
you know what I'm
lights.
saying? Eggs are always going to be around. You know what I'm saying?
Smelling
That's
like
why
shit.
It's an inside job. And be self-aware, and then you can walk in wisdom to maybe protect yourself from, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to go to an egg factory.
Don't we call those boundaries?
Man, yeah, that's
And
right.
they're for us, right?
That's
they're not for other people.
That's right. This is all come back to knowing who you are and how you operate and what you're aligned with and what you're not. Because we don't have to. This is where you and I've had to learn, because the people pleaser in us would sign up for shit and cross our own boundaries, thinking we're trying to be people pleasing to others, and now we're suffering. And so it's like knowing when and when not,
Right.
So that's a good takeaway. Another one, we did touch on value. We touched on, self-worth and value. And where's that come from? Who defines that? Are you going to let me define it? Are you going to let your coworkers define it? Are you going to let your mentors define it? And guess what? We can learn so much from our mentors and our coworkers, but if you continue to grow, do not allow other people's limitations become your own just because they said so, because they got more years on you.
Or opinions.
Yeah. Because, it broke my heart. In tattoo shop council, there's a dude that said, hey, I was raised to, fucking take it all. Anything comes in the door, we're tattooers, I'll fuck tattoo anything, which it's true. It's how we all start.
Right.
But if the goal is for you to find your own niche, your style, this dude was asking, he's like, I've been doing it all, taking whatever comes in the door for 12 years now. And I'd like to start segueing over into just doing certain pieces and styles. When is a guy allowed to do that? And my heart broke, like, fuck, like the second the desire hits your heart. But regardless, if it's been 12 years, that told me whoever he's rolling with has kept him or helped his own mindset, certain perimeters. And now he's questioning, is there more? Can I step out of this? And who's going to give me the permission? Right.
Right.
And it's the same deal here that, as the desire hits your heart, just because the dude next to you doesn't have any more vision for increasing his own self-worth and value, does not have to dictate your value or where you're going. Some dudes that put a cap on what they can charge, and anything more than that, now all of a sudden somehow you're immoral or bad. That mentality is not only limiting beliefs, and you're projecting over on us what you think the fucking standard is. I'm not judging you for your standard, but by God, don't judge me if I want to go further.
Right.
Why are you continuing to ask directions from people that ain't never been where you're trying to go anyways? And so, all that matters too. And we touched on a little of that. And so the takeaway for that, Hip, we should remind them, and maybe some of them, this isn't a reminder, maybe this is a first time for some, which is you can lower your prices to the dirt bottom, lowest of low that you could go, and there will still be someone that can't afford you or have a problem with your pricing.
Too expensive, bro.
You know, you can go low, and there's always going to be someone's like, bro, how about a hookup, 2 for 1? Like, hey. On the flip side, you can raise your prices higher than you've ever, and there'll always be someone that's worth it. You're worth it to them.
You don't charge enough.
Man. So who dictates that? Who decides that? Who defines that? Well, you do.
Yep.
But do you really, or have you allowed everyone else to do it for you? And if so, that's okay. But where are you at right now? And are you at a place where you're wanting to grow, and you need help? Please hit us up. We could help teach them a thing or two from our own experience.
Right, and they could help teach us a thing or two.
Come on, man. Guys, if you're still kicking it with us out there and listening, we thank you and we love you. And man, me and Hip just had some fun tonight, and he's talking shit about headlights. Man, thanks for tuning in. This has been another episode of the Tattoo Guardian Show. And yeah, like Hip said, I had no idea what we were talking about tonight. He just came with it, and we just went with the flow. And I love and appreciate you, man.
Oh, yeah, you too. Later, everybody.